Hi FlossTube, it's Lorna the Ladybird Stitcher. Today is Wednesday the 14th of June. It's only been about 10 days since my last video, but I'm going to be really busy in the next few days, so I thought middle of the month, and I thought I've got a bit of time now, so I thought I'd come to you today. My last video was a bit, well, I wasn't feeling well, as I mentioned in my last video, and I did forget one very special thing. I actually bought a chart from Brittany at Ingleside Imaginarium, and it's a beautiful chart, and I'll just insert it here. It's called Aristocracy. I'll put it in here. And I'm thinking of maybe stitching that one up for my in-laws. They're very environmentally aware. Some would call them greenies, I suppose. So yeah, I thought that one would be perfect for them. And I forgot to mention it because it wasn't in the haul that I physically had. It's a digital copy, so but yeah, that one is a favourite of mine, so I'm very happy with that one. I had 2 new starts this month. These last couple of weeks, actually. This week I've been naughty. The first one, I did have a bit of stash come in with a 1, 2, 3 stitch order, and I'll mention that a bit later on, but part of it was this one, and it's called Wisteria Welcome. It's a buttons and beads Millhill kit, and I made a small start on it. That needle minder is a freebie from JK's Cross Stitching Supplies here in Australia. So that's just this bit on the chart that I've started on there. And then McKenna from Every Stitch Counts started up a group to remember the Salem Witch Trials. I think it's their 325th anniversary. It was on the 12th of June, I believe. And so I didn't actually have a chart of a witch in my stash, but as far as the historical aspect, I'm not much into Halloween, but as far as the historical aspect of things like the witch trials and the plague and the Great Fire of London and that kind of thing, I'm really into that kind of thing. So when she mentioned that she was going to have this, she was having this sale group, I joined, and at first I was just going to lurk and watch what people were doing. And I thought, no, it would be really fun to take part. So I don't actually, this was the 12th of June already in Australia when I found out about it. So I really needed to be able to download a chart immediately. And I went onto Etsy and I found the group Verbena, which I've bought from before. I believe her first name is Irina or Irina. She's from Russia, and she has some really cute designs. I'll link her below because I really recommend you just go and take a look. She's got some really cute designs. At first I found one actually called Salem, I believe, and it's got a picture of a crow. And I really liked it, but I didn't have any fabric that would be big enough to stitch it. It was a little bit bigger. It's not very big, but so I kept looking, and then I came across Little Witch, which looks like this. And I bought it, and I decided to make a start on it, and here's my start. And this is being stitched on a small scrap of fabric. It's very, very small, this design. I believe it's going to be about 4 by 4. It's not very big at all. But this fabric is called Sugarcane Crunch. It's 28 count casual linen in opalescent. And it was from a Sparklies pack from Stitches and Spice here in Australia, who are no longer dyeing fabric. But that was my second start, so that shouldn't take me very long to stitch. But, excuse me, I still have a bit of a cough, so I may need to stop the video and come back to it and things. I'm just going to go, I mentioned earlier in the year that I didn't kind of want to have too many starts this year. and I can feel myself changing, and I'm kind of noticing a pattern that at the end of each year I kind of think I'm just going to start whatever I want because life's too short and I should get the most enjoyment out of my stash and that kind of thing. And then at the beginning of the year I kind of feel like I wish I could just start anew and have all my things, all my whips finished and start everything that I want to start now, but because I've got too many whips I don't feel like it. So I'm kind of seeing this pattern that happens every year. And it's around this time of the year that I kind of feel like I just want to start everything, and I do. But at the same time, I started 3 projects in December, I think, or November and December last year, that I have hardly had a look in this year at all. And I'm feeling a bit guilty about it. I know I shouldn't, but they were the Teresa Wentzler Fantasy Triptych, the Kingdom of Books by Make My Own Hands, I think, and the Chatelaine Alpine Seasons Gardens. I've barely touched the 3 of those, and I've touched the Teresa Wentzler a little bit more than the other 2, but they're going to take me forever to finish as it is, and I'm not even giving them a chance really. So I really should stop, but I don't feel like it. So we shall see what happens later on in the year, but this past month I've already started 3 new projects. So maybe my mania is a month late, who knows, but anyway. Okay, my whips. I didn't have so many whips because I had the 2 new starts, but I worked on my stocking, my Haid stocking, and it will look like this when it's finished. So that's Faithful Friends, and here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And I believe the last time you saw it I had finished page 1, sorry, and I'm trying to finish page 2. And page 2 will kind of go up to about there, up to about here. So another column after these little bits here. So it's about 3/4 of a full page. That's what page 2 will be, because this is a stocking, it's not very wide, at least not up the top. And this is being stitched on 25 count Lugana, 1/1 full crosses. I don't know, with this one I'm kind of finding it a bit harder to work on than the other Haids and Tilt and Craft one I'm doing. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm stuck on all the blues. And I kind of just do all the blues when I'm just watching TV and don't want to, which I don't really watch TV very much at all, but I just don't want to concentrate, so it's good to pick it up then. But I'm finding it so hard to finish this page or pick it up and finish it, and I'm just doing a couple of minutes here and there, but yeah, I don't know how it's going to go, but that's Faithful Friends. The artwork's by Donna Gelsinger. That's that one. And then I finished page 3 of Juliet by Children Crafts, and here's what it will look like when it's finished. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here's where it is now, and page 3 finishes there, so that little bit is part of page 4. But that's page 3 done. I'll just move this. So that's page 3, page 1, 2 and 3. And this, I'll put the picture in again in a second, but you can see that that bit is where the sky comes in. So I'll put the picture in again now. That's Juliet. I'm still really enjoying this one. I would pick this one up over Faithful Friends in a heartbeat. For some reason they're both full coverage, they both kind of need the same brain space, but for some reason I'm enjoying this one more. So And then I didn't pick up Cinderella, which is my other full coverage piece. And the only other one I had was Travel Through Europe. The June block came out last Friday, I believe. I thought it was going to be this Saturday here in Australia, but because it's Europe, it's kind of a bit later than what I'm used to from the States, the times in the States, so... Sorry, a bit earlier. So anyway, it was late Friday, local time, that it was released. And it was Berlin. And here's what this piece looked like the last time you saw it. Here it is now. So there's Berlin there. So I didn't know what those two figures at the front were, and I posted on the group Travel Through Europe sale. I'm the administrator on that group, but I've got nothing to do with this design. Someone actually said to me, "Thank you for a beautiful design," but I've got nothing to do with designing this. I'm just running the group so that people can find the links and things. And if you want to join, you're welcome to. I'll put the link below. But I asked on the group what the two figures in the Berlin block were, and people found out that they were called Aldermen. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but they are the figures on the lights, on the traffic lights. They go and stop for pedestrians. So there you go. The only changes I made to this one, there were French knots up here on the Brandenburg Gate, sorry. I didn't put the French knots in there because I tried and couldn't get them to come out. And I thought, really, they're not going to make that much of a difference. And, of course, the banners. I'm changing all the banners. These are charted to be white. All of them are charted to be white, but I've changed them all. I don't know about this, but that's not centered. I've done it exactly as it was charted, but it's not centered at all. There's a lot more space here than there is here. So I may pull the back stitching out and do it again, but even saying that, I'm just thinking back stitching again. I hate the back stitching, so I probably won't. But yeah, that's how it is. So that's halfway through now. That's what it's looking like now, and I believe Paris is our next one, I think. So that's all my whips and new starts and things. I did have a little bit of a haul. First I'll go through my non-123 stitch haul. I found a place in England that sells 28 count Jobelin. It was really cheap. It was less than 10 Australian dollars per piece, and these are fat quarters, and that's 28 count Jobelin in tan. That's a fat quarter, and it's another fat quarter 28 count Jobelin in English rose. And I thought I'd always use 28 count even weave for something. Fat quarters, you know, there's always a use for them. And to that end, I've actually signed up to Fabric of the Month from Colour Cascade Fabrics, but she only had space in the linen category for 28 count and in the Monaco category. So I've signed up to the Monaco category. So I think my first one will come later this month. So I'll show you that when it arrives. Stash Unload had quite a few Mirabellias on sale, and I think I got these for $11 a piece, which is really good for here in Australia. They have been opened, but the charts are intact and they're fine. This one's the Woodland Fairy, and it's MD67, and the little blurb on the back says, just make sure you can see that, this beautiful fairy with the radiant wand is dressed in shades of pale gold and persimmon pink with fluttering misty blue wings. Entwined with gleaming leaves, she is perched on a mossy branch. Stitch this magical nymph and imagine flights of fancy. And she uses DMC, quite a few Krennic spools actually, and some beads. So that's the Woodland Fairy. I really like the colours in that. And then I got a mermaid. I don't really normally go for mermaids, but I really like this one. It's called Emerald Mermaid, and it's MD77. And it says, designed in pearly and citron hues, this enchanted deep sea nymph gracefully swims across the linen, entwined in lavender and mossy green blooming seaweed. And she only uses DMC beads by Mill Hill and 1 spool of chronic braid. So that's one. Okay, and then I still had some 1, 2, 3 stitch vouchers to use. And my friend Robin needed some few things as well, so I put in an order. And I had them all delivered to my house, and then that way would save up a bit on postage. So I got the Wisteria Wonder, like I mentioned before. And then I needed some more Wheat Style Works for my Gingerbread Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. So I've got hazelnut, pecan and hazelnut. And
oh my wow!
they still look almost exactly the same. So if I had to stitch that one again, I really would. I'd probably go somewhere that actually sold these in a shop. Sorry, sweetie. I'd probably go and try and pick out different browns, because these ones are really close in colour.
I'm going to keep my cow.
I've mentioned that before, and I won't go on my rant again. But anyway, this is my first long dog sampler, and it's called Day and Night, and I really like it. It says on there, day and night, sun and moon, air and light. Everyone must have and none can buy.
That's like
And I think it's really sweet. I haven't actually seen anyone stitching this one. But it's quite pricey. I found it on an Australian website, and I think they were asking $35 for it. And I thought, I'm not paying that much for a chart, because, then you need the fabric, and it's only DMCs, but it's just, it gets pricey. And then I found it on 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and it was $15, and I thought I'd get it. So, yeah, I really like that one. And then I bought this one. It's called Birthday Cupcake by OMG. I think this one actually comes with a recipe for a cupcake. I'm not 100% sure. And I also think that sorry, that's the chart, but that's actually the back of the. I haven't opened these. It's got this cute little ribbon with cupcakes on it. I think you may be able to change this to 4. I hope so, because my daughter won't turn 4 for another year, and I don't know anyone else turning 4. But I found this in a magazine, and that the magazine's quite old now. It's probably about 3 or 4 years old. And they actually said that they do include a recipe with it, and that it's customizable for that, but it does seem to be completely full coverage, so I'm not sure how to do that, but I'm sure I can customize it.
Now,
anyway, so that's
when I have to go.
And then I saw this one.
Okay.
I think I saw this one on Station World, but someone had already claimed it.
That's like.
Just let me talk, okay?
This
so
one.
I looked on 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and they had it. It's called The Library by Little House Needleworks, and that's really like it. It says, an open book is a window into the world. So there's little different scenes in every window. It's really sweet. And then I thought you can never have enough fabric, so I bought 2 pieces of 28 count antique white
purple one. One's dropped.
So they're both fat quarters.
That's.
And because they're all from a gift voucher, they actually didn't cost me anything. So I think it cost me about $2 so that was really good. And then I also bought Little Witch, which I showed you.
Now we need.
And then I also was watching. Sweetie, just let me talk, okay? I was watching Messy Situation. I'll link her channel below. She's really good. And she'd actually finished a freebie from Chatelaine, and it was an Easter egg. And I really, really liked it. And she said that Chatelaine freebie changed a bit. And so I went to have a look, and I found them. And I downloaded all the freebies I could find. So here they are. Now, I've actually stitched a freebie Chatelaine before. And I noticed when I did go onto the Chatelaine website, that's no longer a freebie. So they do change quite frequently. But here are the 3 I got. So yeah, that's everything, I think. I'm actually checking my notes this time so that I don't forget anything. But I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for all your comments, your subscriptions and your likes. I didn't actually have any questions from last week's video, or last week or fortnight's video, so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave it below and I'll answer them in my next video. And I'll hopefully be around again at the end of this month. I'll talk to you then. Happy stitching.